All right, guys, welcome back. Got a huge update. Took a couple weeks off. I actually forgot to post the last one, and I just didn't do it because the the college basketball landscape is already finished. It was just another update with March Madness. So we'll get to that today. We'll start with the NBA playoff preview. That actually starts tomorrow on Tuesday, the 15th of April. The play-in starts that day. But actually, this is the first episode we're going to be talking about golf. Best tournament I've seen in a long time. I don't know if you watched it, probably not. But Rory McIlroy win the Masters. We're going to talk about that. And then we'll go into the NFL. We're going to talk about the mock draft coming up. Got a few slides from some big names and on my personal board. But let's go ahead and start with our NBA playoff preview. I'll switch the screen so we can see the landscape, and we'll get right into it. All right. So, obviously, on the left, we've got our play-in games. The Kings just play-in monsters in it every year. I mean, they can't be stopped. Jonas Valanciunas in there. He's going to be in the play-in every time. 6 for 6, CEO of mediocre. Who do you think is going to win this play-in game? This is a very interesting.
Yeah. I think it'll probably be the Kings.
Yeah. I don't think the Mavs have what it takes. Yeah, they're pretty bad. And they're just going to go into this. Really, whoever wins. I think the Warriors are the best team that are in the play-in games right now. I don't think that's crazy to say. They're hot. They're playing well. They're 48-34. I think they won like 18 of the last 19 or 18 of the last 20, something like that. That was before the last couple games because those don't really count. So they probably weren't playing their top players. The Grizzlies just fired their coach. I think the Warriors are a scary team. So if they get in, I think the Warriors are going to win that game. Go play the Rockets. Let's say the Kings move on and they go play the Thunder. Okay, and they move on. They go play the Grizzlies, and I think the Grizzlies are going to beat. So Thunder versus Grizzlies. Okay, so Thunder. I read a stat today that they are going to be there. If you took away their single point margins or the single point victories, single digit victories, they'll still be the number one seed in the West. It was like, so they won 68 games. I think 57 of those games were double digit victories. Obviously the favorite right now. And I know that earlier in the season we were kind of straying away. We were like, I don't know. But they finished the season strong, and I mean, they're the best team all year for a reason. We'll give them credit where credit's due. So let's say Thunder versus Grizzlies. What do you think the Thunder are going to win in what game?
It'll probably be a sweep.
Oh yeah, 4-0?
Against the Grizzlies, yeah, I think it'll be 4-0. I don't know. I'm not really big on the Grizzlies.
Right. And they just lost their coach, like I said, and I think their season's kind of, they've been playing okay. Obviously 48-34 playing okay, but they're going into a buzzsaw. Now this 4 versus 5 matchup here, I think the Clippers are one of the best teams going into the NBA playoffs right now. James Harden's playing great. They're winning a lot of games. They're hot. This Nuggets team is going to be in trouble without Mike Malone, which that's a different topic. What did he do?
Yeah.
Why did he get fired? He was playing Russell Westbrook, and the owner did not like that.
Yeah.
And they just fired him for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is insane in itself. Like, they're 50-32 with the MVP candidate. Should be the MVP winner. But this is a tough matchup. I think the Clippers are going to pull this one off in opening NBA playoffs. What do you think? But also it's the Jokic. Well, it's a Joker.
Yeah. I think if the Clippers continue their momentum, they'd have a shot at winning in 7 games. I think I might go Nuggets in 6.
Okay.
And another thing is the Nuggets are healthy again. They've got Aaron Gordon back.
Yep.
So I mean, Jokic is basically going to be coaching them. So
Yeah.
it's.
Did you see the?
He's a genius. He's going to know what he's doing.
Right. Did you see the clip of him writing the plays down for the team coming out at the timeout? It's kind of funny because he could probably coach the team and they would probably win a playoff series or two. But I do. That's probably the most intriguing matchup I've seen in the playoffs in this setup right now. Now moving on to the Lakers versus Timberwolves. Lakers are kind of hot. They're okay. Timberwolves are kind of hot too. And we'll kind of see where this goes. This is going to be a rugged matchup. I think. I just think the Lakers have too much firepower. If Austin Reeves keeps playing well, that's the key. If Austin Reeves keeps playing the way he has been playing, I think over the last 9 games, it's 25. He's been averaging 25, 5, and 5, maybe even more than that. And he's just been the guy that sets the pace, does everything perfectly, plays great defense, and pushes the floor. I think if he keeps playing the way he's been playing, they win this in 5 games. Now, what do you think? What do you think this kind of goes to? Longer series or?
Yeah, I'm going to go Lakers in 6. I think Timberwolves they've started playing better. But I think, Luka is just Anthony Edwards' dad.
Right.
I mean,
I agree.
I don't think the Timberwolves have what it takes to actually win in the playoffs.
Yeah.
The regular season merchants.
I'm still scratching my head on the Cat trade. I know that it was kind of he had to get it was a lot of money. He was going to be worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
But I would have traded Rudy Gobert before I traded him. I think, yes, Rudy Gobert is going to be great. It's great defensively. I don't know. I think that you just look at the Knicks record. I don't know. I would have not traded Cat in that situation. No. He's great at defense. He stretches the floor. Does everything that Gobert does. Gobert plays better defense, but he stretches the floor. Now moving on to the Rockets versus the Warriors. What's your opinion on this matchup? I think it's going to go to the distance.
I don't think so. I think the Rockets are so good.
Right.
That's just crazy. Their turnaround's been insane.
Yep. Jalen Green's been playing out of his mind this year.
Yeah. And, I mean, defensively, they're just insane. And they've got Baby Joker and Alperen Sengun.
Yeah.
They got Amen Thompson, who's just the most athletic person in NBA history.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they've got some bench guys who would be
Fred VanVleet.
Yeah, and Reed Shepherd and Cam Whitmore.
Yeah.
I mean, they would be key players on other playoff teams.
Right.
I don't know. They're just really deep.
Yeah.
I think the Rockets will be tough.
I think Rockets are the better team, obviously. But I do see this series, if the Warriors can continue doing what they were doing to end the regular season, I do see this, personally, I see this series going to 6 or 7 games. But I don't see the Warriors winning at all. I don't see the Warriors winning the series at all. I think the Rockets win 4-2 or obviously 4-3. But I just don't see the Warriors winning the series. I think the Rockets are too much. And they just pull out an easy win in Game 7 or Game 6. The defense is too good. And they have too many weapons, too deep. Now moving on to the right side, to the East. The pouring side. No, I'm just kidding. Play-in. We got the Bulls versus the Heat. They both suck. Who do you think? I think the Bulls have been hot since the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Matas Vazulis has been going crazy. Giddey has been going crazy.
Yeah.
I think they win this game. I think it's pretty.
I think it'll be the Bulls.
Okay.
Kobe White's gonna have a Kobe White game.
A little just random 6 for 6 from 3, 40 piece. Like, who's this kid?
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then Magic's first. Who's this kid? He's averaging double digits. But Magic versus the Hawks. Hawks have kind of been a slight surprise, just to even get here. But I know the East isn't great. But
No.
this one's a weird one. I think this one could go either way. It's kind of like you just pick which one. It's kind of 50-50. But I'm going to pick the Hawks. I think Trae Young has a great game. He's been playing great playmaking-wise. I think he takes over this game. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Magic should be a lot better than
For sure.
where they're at right now.
For sure.
And like you said, the Hawks are just surprising, especially because they've got one main guy out, and Jalen Johnson.
Yeah.
He was kind of their real centerpiece beginning of the year before he got injured. I might take the Magic just because I think they're a little deeper, and I think on paper they're the better team, so that's why I'm just going to take the Magic.
Okay. So let's say the winner, Bulls versus. Well, let's go with yours. Bulls versus the Hawks. Another one that the Bulls could squeak out. Honestly, I'm a sucker for the underdog and the team that's hot. But they suck. But they've been playing well since the trade deadline. But man, they suck.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's your opinion on that game? Bulls versus
the
Hawks.
I think that game would be the Hawks.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
I don't know. The Bulls might get lucky once, but
maybe not.
2 games in a row, I don't know.
Okay, and even if they do, they're gonna go play the Cavs, the Buzzsaw.
Yeah.
So obviously the Cavs win in a sweep. I think anybody that plays in that spot, I think they win in a sweep. So we can move on to the Pacers versus the Bucks. A weird matchup. I don't actually know a lot about these teams, just based off of stats, off the top of my head. What's your kind of opinion on this matchup, the Pacers versus the Bucks?
It's a mid-off.
I would agree. That's why I don't know very much, because it's just like, I don't. Is it like Giannis, or that's the thing?
Yeah, I would probably take Milwaukee. Neither of these teams are that great. I don't know.
Right.
Pacers just aren't. They're just so bad. And Tyrese Halliburton's just not consistent enough to win in the playoffs.
Right.
So I think I would say like Bucks and 6 or 7.
Now, for me, I'd probably go. I would agree, Bucks in 6 or 7, and I think Giannis kind of takes over this series and puts him away early.
Yeah.
Or not early, puts him away because it's in 6 or 7. Now going into the Knicks versus the Pistons. Pistons, another surprise team. Cade Cunningham, straight aura farming everybody. Playing great, 25 a game, I think still, and off the top of my head. And the Knicks, obviously a great team, but I think they are fraud alert. I do think they win this series, maybe. You don't think so? Well, let me hear about that.
I think the Pistons are just better defensively, and they're the more athletic team.
Okay.
And they've got a chip on their shoulder, and the Knicks are
not playing great.
I mean, they're just the Knicks. I mean, and this year the Pistons are 3-1 against the Knicks.
Really,
in regular season matchups. Yeah.
Okay.
I think Cade's gonna take over. He'll be the best player in this series by far.
Yeah. I think the only way the Knicks pull out a win in the series early is if Jalen Brunson goes crazy like he has been the last couple seasons.
Yeah.
In the playoffs.
Yeah.
But this matchup I do see, even if it's 3-6, three seed 6, 3 seed versus 6 seed. I think Pistons. This is a close series. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes 7 games, and the Pistons squeak it out. Because
I don't know. I just like.
Go ahead.
I just like how the Pistons are, their roster is set up.
Yeah.
I think they're more cohesive than the Knicks.
I would agree. Now your Celtics, number 2. They're the number 2 seed, but low key they've been playing like the best team in the NBA the last couple weeks. Legitimately, no hate, been playing very, very good. Now Celtics versus who do we say? The Magic, right? I think so.
Yeah.
Yes. Celtics versus Magic.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's this week.
Yeah.
Pretty simple. So that's the opening round. Really, the number 1 seeds versus number 2 seeds. The only ones that we got to watch is the Warriors versus the Rockets. If the Warriors get in, and they should. All the other 1 seeds and the 2 seeds are going to be a sweep. But really watch the Nuggets and the Clippers game and the Knicks and Pistons series. Those would be 2 great, rugged series to watch. But moving on into our first golf segment, I know you didn't watch it, but I'll go off on my rant. I loved how the Masters was set up. This is actually the first Masters I've ever watched, so I might be talking out of my ass. But it got me hooked. I was like, if this guy sells, he almost sold at the end. Rory McIlroy almost sold at the end to Justin Rose, and we had to go to a playoff, and then he finally won in that first hole of the playoff. And I was super intrigued by just I don't know. It was super interesting for the first golf tournament I've ever watched, and I can attest to. Well, Rory actually, I really wanted DeChambeau to win going into the third day, but I gotta give it to him. Rory played great towards the end of the match, and he got the career Grand Slam. I thought that was super cool. One of the 6 players that ever got a Grand Slam, and he's up there with Tiger now, winning all the majors. And so super interesting for the first golf tournament I ever watched. If you ever get a chance, you should really, maybe not anything besides the Masters, but I really enjoyed that one and the U.S. Open. So moving on to the college basketball, my Florida Gators did it. My teams suck. They suck. And then the Florida Gators won. Thank goodness that the Houston Cougars couldn't pull it off against Duke. We would have been toast.
Yeah.
Did you watch the national championship?
I watched the second half.
What did you think of the game?
And I don't know, Houston just didn't have that energy.
Yep. Especially not like they did in the first half.
I felt I don't know, it seemed like they kind of just seemed defeated because I feel like anytime they scored, the Florida immediately had an answer.
Yeah.
They couldn't string together any scores and stops. So I don't know, they're just lacking energy. And I mean, that very last play, I was like, what is going on?
Right.
When because he had space to get the shot off.
Right.
He could have just pulled it.
I mean, Florida
kind of
hesitated. right. Florida kind of got lucky that was a 7'2" guy. If that was anybody else on the floor, I think Emmanuel Sharp drains that buzzer beater.
Yeah.
And Florida's I'm crying in my car because I'm watching it in my car, and I'm crying in my hands.
Yeah.
Instead of freaking out. Yeah, that last play was pretty interesting. I love I watched it so many times. The play design was great. I mean, he got an open shot.
Mm-hmm.
Florida got so lucky that was a 7-foot center that could get his hand at least in the way to make him hesitate. And I'm looking at Instagram and everyone's like, why can't you just pick the ball up? Like, guys, that's a travel if he even touches it. Everyone's arguing. I'm like, it's a travel. That's how it works. Yeah. So Florida, favorites, one of our favorites to make it the national championship. We definitely picked Duke to win it all, but I'm a deep Florida fan. Man, I was freaking out. That was finally one of my teams won, and I can ride this high until the Bears win the Super Bowl next year. So sorry, that's a little excess. Completely kidding. They suck.
Yeah.
They're okay.
Yeah.
No, they suck. But Florida coming back from 3 double-digit deficits the last three games, putting my heart in a literal chokehold. I thought. So I actually bet on the game, and I'm sitting there with one of my buddies. He bet on the Cougars, and they're down by 12, and I'm just like about to cry. I'm like, I lose money and my team gets blown out, and they come back to win. I was pretty ecstatic, but yeah, that was awesome. All right, now going into one of the first football talks of the season, besides obviously the Super Bowl, but of the off season, going into our mock drafts. This one's going to be kind of. I didn't want to do one before all of the pro days happened because we get a lot of shakers, movers, because some people don't always perform in their pro days. I'll let you go first, and then I'll get to mine.
Yeah. Number 1 pick. I feel like it's a consensus of who's going to go number 1. I think it's going to be Cam Ward.
Yeah, especially to the Titans.
He's just, they need a quarterback.
Yeah.
Number 2 pick. I'm seeing Travis Hunter everywhere. I think it's going to be Abdul Carter.
Okay.
I don't know what Travis Hunter really does for the Browns. And also it's the Browns.
Yeah.
They're going to be bad. I think you get Abdul Carter, put him opposite of Myles Garrett, let him just slaughter everybody.
Yep.
Then I do think Travis Hunter probably will go to the Giants.
Okay.
I think that's a bit more realistic. And then after that, it's kind of tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm seeing Will Campbell, but his arms are so short for a tackle.
Right.
I don't know. Just doesn't have the length to keep guys off. But also somehow his arms grew between the draft combine and his pro day.
That's the benefits of playing at home pro day.
So crazy. So crazy. Patriots, it's tough. I think I might go Armand Membu.
Okay.
I think I like him a little more than Will Johnson. I think Patriots do need O-line. And then Jacksonville, I think Jacksonville might fall into the Will Campbell trap. Like, Jacksonville doesn't necessarily draft the best.
Nope.
They don't have a great history. So, and then Las Vegas. They need a running back. I think they'll take Gene T if he's there. I don't know who else they would really go. Maybe an edge or something.
Yep.
I don't think they'll go Shador now that they've got Geno.
Yeah.
Especially since they've got Geno for like 3 or 4 years. Jets. I don't even
know. That's gonna be an
The Jets
interesting
are
one.
actually like they're in a good spot.
Like having a top 10 pick in their spot
will be decent.
Yeah, having a top 10 pick in their spot
Yeah.
will be very important. Like this is a pick they can move up or kind of go back and have a couple picks in the second round. But yeah.
Yeah. I think honestly I wouldn't be surprised if they went like Tyler Warren here. They need a tight end.
I would say that.
I don't even know because they lost Conklin in free agency.
Yep.
So I couldn't even tell you any of their tight ends. Like, I don't know. So I could see Tyler Warren. I could see them going O-line. Carolina, literally just best available.
Yep.
They need everything. Right now, NFL's got Jalen Walker from Georgia, edge rusher. So, sure, I'm okay with that. New Orleans, man, I could see Shador in the Big Easy. I do, like I think it kind of fits him, and especially like you don't know, like it's just Derek Carr is not gonna. You don't know if he's gonna be able to play a full season.
Yep.
Or if he's gonna play at all. So I think they probably go quarterback. At least get their quarterback for the future, if not this season. Because I mean, every year they've got a chance of winning their division because their division's so bad.
Yep.
So then Chicago at 10. Ooh.
Took all of their top guys.
Yeah. Man. I could see Chicago. This is so tough. I think they need to take a running back. But it's not really. I mean, Omarion Hampton, but I feel like there's better value between.
I could see them
their
taking.
pick and where Omarion's.
I could see them taking
projected.
the Iowa running back in the second round if they don't get one in the first.
Yeah. I just don't think you should take a running back in the first round. I feel like that's always pretty risky, unless they're obviously like a top 5 pick.
I think with their O-line that they're creating, and if they maybe pick up another O-lineman, if the Ashton Jeanty and Warren are taken, I think that O-line that they're creating, they could pick any running back in the second and third round, and it would be great, personally.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably just go best available for them. I mean, they're the Bears. They'll find a way to mess it up.
True. But for mine, number 1, Cam Ward. This is kind of funny because it's pretty similar to yours. But number 1, Cam Ward. Number 2, Abdul Carter. Pretty easy. Lost my list. And then number 3, Travis Hunter. I think that if the New York Giants I think the best pick for the New York Giants is Travis Hunter. They could go Shador here. I don't think they do. If Abdul Carter drops here, that some of the mock drafts have him dropping, yes, pick Abdul Carter. But I just don't think I think Abdul is going to go with the Browns because I think they're going to be moving away from Myles Garrett later in the season when they suck, and they want to kind of refresh the pass rush market, their pass rush depth, and when they move on from him, get 2 first-round picks for him, and they suck, they could go get a top quarterback next year, and maybe get Jackson Dart in the second round later in the first round, because they have the first pick in the second round, I think. Or later in the first round. They have another pick. But, yeah. And then number 4, I actually have Mason Graham going in the Patriots. I think that they need to beef up their O-line, but they need to beef up their O-line, but their D-line is also terrible. So I could see them going Campbell, Mason Graham, or Minbu. I think it's going to be best available O-lineman. But I think Mason Graham's good enough that he should go top 5, even based off me. That might be a hot take, and the Patriots are probably not even looking that way. They're going to probably get Will Campbell, but that's I think Mason Graham's good enough to go there. Now Jaguars, I think it's best available in the O-line, D-line department. Mason Graham, Campbell, kind of swapping, and also Minbu. Raiders, I have them. If Minbu is left, they need, once again, these you can see a pattern of this first round. These players need trenches, fill the trenches. So Campbell, Minbu, Mason Graham, either one, those 3 teams right there should be trading. If you don't take one, I'm gonna take this guy. If you don't take that guy, I'm gonna get this guy. Now I do like we said, the Jets are in a great spot to kind of get best available. I've always been high on this person since the beginning of the draft process. He was supposed to go in the top 5. He's kind of dropped down based on actual needs of teams. But I think the Jets are a great spot here. They just traded. Oh my gosh, what's his name? Archie. Or not traded. He left, signed with the Rams. Devontae Adams. He went and signed with the Rams.
Yes.
They need receivers. They have Justin Fields, just signed a new contract. I think the Jets here, and because it's the Jets, I think they go and get McMillan. Territorial McMillan. Top 10
Really?
wide receiver. They need weapons. They could go Warren, like you said. I think McMillan is a top 10 pick. Just based off need of these teams, he won't, most likely. But I think the Jets a very big decision here. Do we get a tight end that's going to take us to the top, or do we get a wide receiver? Now for the Saints, I think Shedeur is an easy pick in this spot, and then because that would be best case scenario for the Saints to get a quarterback in the late round, in the late top 10, especially Shedeur. You bring a lot of money in, and I don't think he's going to be terrible. I think he's going to be good. I don't think he's going to be bust. Now, the Bears, I want Ashton Jeanty as a fan. I'd be okay with Tyler Warren if Ashton Jeanty leaves in the first couple rounds with the Raiders, or first couple picks with the Raiders, and like the Jaguars or something. But I would love Ashton Jeanty to go top 10 to the Bears, and then if not, Tyler Warren would work too. He would bring a lot of. Just imagine Tyler Warren. He would be that replacement to Sam Laporta that our head coach has, that needs a good blocking tight end that is also. I think I missed the Panthers actually. Let me go back here a second. That would be great in his offense. Now, going back to the 8th pick, because I missed the 8th pick after the Jets. The Panthers are going to pick, like you said, best available, probably get the Jalen Walker, like you said. But I think the Panthers, just anyone that's available that it can help their front line.
Yeah.
So I also see them going for Stewart. I'll see the Bears going for Stewart if they don't get, who they want to on the offensive side of the ball. But, yeah. Bears get Ashton Jeanty. We win the Super Bowl. We have the best O-line in the NFL. It's going to be great. But I think that's it for us today. So that'll be it for us today, guys. Thanks for watching. Go follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all the stuff. Go watch us on Spotify, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you guys for watching.